Second last video, we are going to create the last of our common styles across all three web pages. Okay, we want to do a little bit of work on the nav, which is got all the links in it, a little bit of style for the individual links, and then a little bit of style on the article as well, because the article immediately follows the nav. So I want to style the nav, turn into a box and float it, and that's going to create issues with the layout for the article, so we need to style that. Okay, let's have a look at the web page first of all and look up at the nav and article sort of area. At the moment our links are horizontal and they're over on the left hand side. Now typically links would be centered, a bit more spaced out, and when you put the mouse over them, maybe the color would change, the background color would change, or the text might change color, something like that. Okay, that's coming down the tracks to us. Normally what we do with our links is we put them inside an unordered list, and then we make the bullet point invisible, and we can do a lot more stylish things with them like that. Okay, but for the moment we will just leave them as anchor tags, and they're inside the nav tag. And then here is our article. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to give each of these tags, each of these links a line of its own, so directly underneath each other. I'm going to keep them towards the left hand side of the page. I want basically to treat them as if the nav is a box, and then we can apply, we can float that box. That's going to the text is going to wrap. It's going to look a little bit ugly, so we need to then go and style the article. Okay, so we're going to style the nav, then style the links or the hyperlinks, and then style the article. So let's get cracking. And let me go and find the nav. Now, just a wee word about our styles. Okay, I am not just going to add the styles for the nav down towards the bottom. I could, and they would work, but we try and make our common.css a little bit kind of more readable in a significant sense. What do I mean by that? Think of this document as being a bit like a newspaper. Okay, the main stories are up towards the top of the page and the smaller stories are down towards the bottom. So we normally put the styles for the most significant parts of the web page up top. Okay, the higher level tags, the body tag at the top, probably the wrapper, the div wrapper next, and then all the various sections. Okay, header, nav, main, footer, and then article, and so on, and then maybe the IDs down towards the bottom. Okay, so let's go back up, and in any case you might remember that we set the background color for the nav to be white. Okay, so that's already set up. It's not picking up the D. Too many D's there, I think. We will look at color in a bit more detail later on. Okay, so what we're going to do is add in a few more styles, and let's see what they do. Okay, so here got the background color white in here, and I'm adding 4 more styles. So let me just copy that. Okay, and replace that. So we still got background color white. What are we going to do? We are going to float the nav to the left. We are going to set the width of it to 10 EM, roughly 160 pixels. We are putting border style outset. So that's going to give a kind of a 3D effect that you can see on page 26 of the instructions, as if it's sort of like a stone or a paver raised up. Is kind of a shadow effect there. Okay, you get these 3D effects. You have to imagine sort of for border style outset or inset that the light, if you like, that's causing the shadow to be cast is at the top left of the tag. Okay, so for outset, the right hand side and the bottom side of the nav are going to be darker, and for inset, the top and the left are going to be darker. Okay, and then a border width of about 8 pixels, 0.5 EM. So let's save that and refresh the page, and there it is there. Okay, so we can see our border is outset, kind of a 3D effect. there is a kind of a grayish color there, but a darker color on the bottom and right. Okay, what would happen if we go to index.html and let's just say for the crack, okay, put more text in there, save that, come back and refresh the page, and there we go. Okay, so it's starting to look, and do you know what, let's put in a bit more. Why not? You only live once. Okay, like that. Let's see the effect of that. So the nav essentially is starting to become like a big picture. Okay, so we floated the nav to the left. So the H2, the article basically wraps around to the right, and the text sort of comes up in the head. Okay, not too satisfactory. Okay, what's also not too satisfactory is these links are too close together and they're all in one line. I want to give them a separate line each. If we are putting the tags over to the left hand side, normally we would have them underneath each other. So we're having a vertical nav rather than a horizontal nav. So how do we do that? Well, first of all, let's repair the damage I did here. That's sorted. Okay, and let us go to find the style for links that I have here already, and let me just talk about that in a second, and we might as well put the links underneath the nav style. Okay, you may be wondering, why did you leave that empty? Okay, we will sort it out shortly. Okay, what am I doing to my links? A for anchor. Display block means each link will take the full width of whatever the parent tag is. Okay, in this case the nav. So each link is going to be the full width of the nav, 10 EM. So the second link is going to be on a new line. And we're putting a margin around each link. Okay, so outside the link, that's going to 0.3 EM. So we have 0.3 EM above a link and 0.3 EM below a link. So there'll be 0.6 EM, which is roughly about 7 pixels between each link then. So what does that look like? We're getting that there. Okay, now there's no dot after the Y in history. That's just the line from the link. Okay, it's just the letter Y has got a bottom, a lower half on it. Okay, so it's breaking the link. Okay, so you can see that's applying on them all, okay, because it's been done in the common style sheet. Right, okay, so that's 2 out of 3, and that ain't bad. Those of you old enough might remember that reference, that song. If you don't, look it up. A bit of 70s history there. Let's put some style in for the article. Okay, what am I doing to the article? I want to push it over to the right, and I want to push it, oh sorry, it's gone a bit AWOL here. The width of the nav is 10 EM. I want to push the article over to the right by a number greater than 10. Okay, so essentially the article won't be underneath the nav. Okay, so I basically want it to clear vertically. Okay, I am going to put a solid green line on the left of the article. So we're going to see that vertical line going between the nav and the article. It is very small, okay, very subtle, 0.1 EM. So it's 1.6 pixels, solid green line, very thin. And then I don't want the text to come right up to the line. So I have 16 pixels space like that. So let us see what the effect of that. There we go. Okay, so hope you're all getting excited. We're getting closer and closer to getting our pages to look like the screenshots on page 2, 3, and 4. Okay, it looks like we're nearly there. And then these are all picking up the same. Okay, I haven't mentioned this already, but please, on any of these styles, don't be afraid to experiment. Please have a bit of fun with this. It's a great way to learn. Go and look up W3 Schools. Play around with the possible values of all these styles. Be aware that we can't cover every single style. Okay, you're going to have to discover some yourself. If I make the margin left of article smaller than the width, what's that going to do to the page? Okay, it brings the line over to the left. That looks a little bit not the best, so we'll leave it on 12, I think it was originally, like that.